of the void.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to The Void. This is Matt Pike, who I just launched into a conversation with.
I don't think anything's weird now. I look like fucking Santa Claus. I don't give a shit. No, I stopped caring.
I like this. I think you've committed. It's like it's like extreme mountaintops.
Yeah, the Metal Commander. Don't like. My wife made me do this, and I'm like, oh, dude, that's fucking that's so seafarer. You're all like awesome. You're all the wharvesman. It's the mariner.
Well, it's a time, you could go to sea.
Yeah.
Time to go to
or,
sea.
It will come off when it doesn't seem appropriate. That's usually when I shave. When everybody's like, oh, dude, it looks so great. Then I'll be all good. This is why I'm getting rid of it.
But I like it because it's not a beard. It's its own animal.
Yeah.
It's
kind of like two animals.
Yeah.
It's like they live together in a nest.
Yeah. Well, how have you found this experience? How's living in your... Congrats on getting married. I haven't seen you in a million years. That's cool.
Yeah.
She's a mad talented artist.
What a great time to get married and get shoved in a house so we can't leave each other ever. So it's been... we ended up like taking separate bedrooms just so we have some space because, because we got married on the basis that, one of us would be touring, she does bands or she, takes off and does tattoos elsewhere. And I'm used to being on the road 8 months out of the year. And now it's not like that. So both of us are a little fucking crazy, but we're getting by. I mean, you just have to do things to so you can feel like you have some introversion time, both of us are introverted when it comes to art or making music or whatnot, so
it's good to make art. It's a productive time for the creative world,
it is.
Nothing else.
I got all sorts of shit going on. It's too much. And for the first few months, I didn't have anything going on, but this friend of ours, this isn't High on Fire either. I started this solo project, and I just started jamming with this one, with this good friend of mine, John Reed, who actually he's played in Lord Dying. He's played in various touring bands or whatever. But he's our buddy, and he's kind of like family to us. And he's the one guy that was coming over here during the COVID thing. I'm like, I don't care, dude. If I don't jam soon, I'm gonna fucking jump off a bridge. So you should probably come over here and start hitting things.
Yeah.
And so we started laying down some stuff, and then I've been going into the studio, and I've had some cool guest people that have been, doing tracks for me, including me and my wife were writing music together because we're the only ones around each other. So she's on some tracks. I got Brent Hines, me and John. I have Billy Anderson's kind of played on some of it, but he's recording it because he lives down the street. So it's all kind of working out for this project. And I've gotten together with High on Fire a couple times, and
you got a new drummer.
Chris, our new drummer Chris Maggio is coming out the first week of February to follow up on some of the tunes we were writing, and that shit's that's gonna be batty. It's all really, really advanced stuff.
Ferocious. High on Fire is ferocious.
Oh, dude, and I won't elaborate too much, but it's going from one drummer to another. I was with playing with Dez, for 21 years, so it takes its turns. You're like, oh wow, we're really rehashing the sound here. Okay, where are we going with this? And it's really cool because I think that band needs to evolve. And then my solo shit's off the. It's so fucking crazy. It's like I don't know.
It's heavy.
People will
heavy?
hear it when they hear it. Some of it's heavy and some of it's fucking. It's just insanity. It's like a Frank Zappa album. It's
I was gonna say, is there Mahavishnu orchestra vibes in it? I had this weird feeling. I had this really odd feeling that it was like that because I remember you saying
it has some Mahavishnu. It has some. It has some kind of sleepish High on Fire stuff, which is normal. That's my playing.
You're in there.
I do some drop tuning stuff. It has a wide variety. I have Brent Hines plays on it a little bit. I was there's a few other people I just have random guest people on different songs, and it makes it interesting because it's like just me and John wrote the like blueprint of it, and then someone will jump on. Like Jeff Matz is probably going to be playing the electric saz, which is like the Turkish banjo a little bit. He might take a lead or two. I was just sending people tracks because if you can't be next to them or they can't come to like this session in the big room, I just send it to them and they can do it in the studio by them. Or I have these sessions in like Hollowed Halls, which is like the only studio in Portland, and it's a big ass room. Awesome. So, you know, you can effectively social distance if you're paranoid or, you know, you're believing how fucking, I don't believe it's as bad spread wise around here as it is in like New York, you know. Oregon's like got low numbers, and it's because we're over paranoid instantly. But like the governor did the right thing by just fucking going, no, like everybody just stop what you're doing right now and don't let, and keep Californians down there. That's what they were kind of doing, because you know, you got Seattle up there and California down there, and they had some bad spreads. But around here it was like, even with the riots and all the crazy shit going on, it really didn't, there's not that many deaths from it. You know what I mean? Everybody gets it, but because I think I had it, but then I went and got a COVID test and they were like, you're negative. But I at the beginning of it, I swear to God, I got sicker than I ever have been in my fucking life for like 3 days. And then I was fine. And then I got home and they shut everything down. I'm all, well, I hope I caught it already, because that means, you know, I have herd immunity or whatnot.
Dude, so, I had the same thing happen in January. I got so sick. For 2 weeks, like respiratory thing. And I live on a train line that goes past the airport. So I'm like, I got one of the original things. But we've had 50 deaths in our state since the whole thing, and they're making us wear masks. It's pretty weird.
That's not that bad.
No, it's nothing, dude.
Considering
nothing.
Like, I mean, absolutely nothing. It's, dude.
But I'm getting my
SARS was like worse than that shit. You know what I mean? Tuberculosis is worse than that shit. The flu is worse than that shit. But in certain places, I think they abundantly, you know, like LA, New York, these places where they're just, people are stacked on top of each other. And I think it's a purposeful thing too, because what they're doing is they're killing small business, and they're killing, you know, real estate. That's going to get real cheap. And you know who's going to be buying it up? Mr. Governor, Mr. fucking Mayor. They're going to be buying that shit up. And, you know, then they have block housing, and they monopolize on all of it. And they're going to discourage us from moving out into the country, even though that's what everybody wants to do. So then they're going to make you feel guilty about being green. You know what I mean? And then we're going to give them billions of dollars to fix the atmosphere. And no one's going to do anything about it. You know, and it's like, that's just kind of what I see coming. It's not,
what do we do?
And that could be a conspiracy theory, you know, how everybody just says I'm into that. Well, that's what I'm into because I write metal. So I need to think like that. And I wouldn't have good music if I didn't think in hyperbole, you know. It's like,
the problem is, well, it's a world that lends itself to the creative brush and to writing words about it. Like there's definite mystical dark forces at play, like that. It's not
there's some evil shit going on underneath, and it's right out in the open now. It's not like hiding. It's like, it's obvious that they're fucking bending humanity over. Humanity's bending humanity over and dry fucking it, and it's pretty obvious, you know. But I'm gonna make music and not try to talk. I hate politics anymore. I can't stand another thing. You know. And I don't. I don't think one politician's different than the other. I don't think there's a better one. They're all full of shit.
It's a broken
system.
They're all
fucking they're a bunch of fucking connivers, dude. And they're not doing anything about you or me being happier. So I'm just gonna make myself happy. You know,
it's all we can do. And like I have this beautiful like dream that we could somehow use this time to like connect like the artistic people of the world and the, you know, the conscious people.
I think it has been.
To connect, like,
I really think it has been. I hope I'm not interrupting too. Sometimes, like, I get all ADHD and I just start talking because I'll have a thought, you know.
That's the point.
Yeah, I've connected with a lot of people doing a lot of stuff, you know. And I was never on social media before, but I started an Instagram, and I started doing some funny shit on there because, like, I can kind of be funny at moments. I'm not always fucking serious. And you know what I mean? And then I started Patreon, so I'm like doing some lessons, and that's doing well. It's like helping us pay our bills, and I'm giving something back to the community that has to do with music, and I don't have to be on tour if I'm doing that. So that's far out. I'm pretty stoked on that, and I love my Patreons. I like talk to them. I'll just message someone randomly, and they're like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "Well, if you're paying me, I'll text you every once in a while. It's cool."
It's awesome. It's so awesome. It's just like, I'm really excited about the new frontier of these worlds where we are kind of creating a thing, because the broader music industry has real problems. And it has forever. It has for like fucking 80 years. It's not like it's a new thing. It's been exploitative and weird forever. So
no. Some of the laws in even America are so antiquated. I mean, it's like drummers can't get credit for writing, you know what I mean? Like the drum line, or they're like antiquated laws from hella long ago where everybody was playing in big bands. So when it comes to like publishing, I think they started changing a little more now, but it took all the way into the later 2000s near us that for them to even think about it, like ASCAP and, IBM or whatever else. The way they pay and the way that songwriters publish their shit and put it out there and say, I wrote this song or co-wrote this song. It was very antiquated for a very long time. And I've always been, if I'm in a band and I write a song, I just give 33 1/3 if I'm in a band with 3 people. If it's 4 people, I give 25%. Mine, give or take whatever that is off the top, That's
that's a good ethical approach.
I think it is. I think it's ethical and definitely leads to better karma musically. People will want to work with you more if you fucking are fair and pay everybody. Because everybody wants to get paid and musicians don't get paid enough,
No, and especially, I mean, I just can't, like, man, if you told me a year ago that dancing would be illegal and touring would be over, I mean, fuck. I would have said, like, just take food away. I don't care. Like, like, what is this? I don't know. What's it been like for you? Because this has been your life for so long, man. Like,
there's no better time to like be an alcoholic, a bandit, or a drug dealer. You just drive around and deal drugs and drink beers while you're doing it. They're not going to pull you over. It isn't. It's a recipe to be a complete ass. And like,
it's weird. It's like, do you remember like the first shows you ever played and went to and stuff, and the first time you kind of fell into the life and stuff? Was it in Oakland or?
Oh, dude, the first shows I played, probably San Jose. I mean, I was a kid in Denver and I played like kegger parties.
Really?
And we'd play like, we do like fucking Black Sabbath or Ozzy covers, and or fuck, I don't even remember. Like I was in a couple bands in Denver, and then I moved to California and I got in As Best It's Death. And we'd play like the talent show, or we'd drive to LA for one show, or we'd play Gilman Street, We were little punk rockers. It was cool though. And then it turned into Sleep, and then we started to actually do some shit. And the touring started from there. So I was like about 18 or 19 when it started kicking in a little bit, like where I'm like, ooh, I get to travel. I actually get paid $5, like whatever. So
it's a whole
and I'm like 48 now, so that's a long fucking time ago. That's like 89, 90 years when we started recording this stuff. We'd be touring. So
that's wild.
It's
a cool life though.
Oh, my life, I have no complaints. My life's been fucking awesome. I mean, I've done my fair share of fucking up, but like, I don't consider it fucking up. I just consider it like things that make you wiser, about what you're doing. And
what have been your big life lessons?
What
have been your big life lessons?
I mean, it depends on the subject.
I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
I mean, it depends on the subject, like curbing your partying, love, economics, how to keep money in your bank account and not be a douchebag, you know, and figure out how to control your life a little more. And then it's just like, hey, how do you control your amps? What do you use? You get better at that as you get old, and you stop like going, turn it all the way up, and then it just feeds back, you know. But like that's what I was all about before. And then as the years gone by, I was like, well, what happens if I make it louder than God, but I can control it? And then I stand somewhere on the stage, but I haven't been able to do that lately. So I've been like doing more of a studio rig, which I have dialed in. I'm getting the awesomest tones like on this record. Shit, yeah. So
tone is your thing. Tone is your thing. Tone.
It truly is.
His tone, like I feel like it's everything.
Well, tone is a lot. I mean, and I think style is everything too. I don't play like a bunch of the shredder guys, like, you know what I mean? They think I'm sloppy or something, but I'm like, I'm just not showing you what I fucking normally do. And actually, the one I actually read the comments. I almost never read the comments because I don't want to get pissed or weird or insecure because I'm sensitive that way, and I kind of hate it.
You're a human
dude.
person,
I'm good at doing my own thing, is what I'm saying. I'm good at doing me. I'm not gonna try to fucking be Yngwie Malmsteen or Joe Satriani, and I know that's what those dudes like. Hey, if you want to learn something different, learn something from me that's heavy. I'm good at playing heavy music, and I'm good at doing me. But I'm not good at being some other guy or doing some other dude's cover all the time. I'll make the cover sound like I do. You know what I mean? I don't conform to it. I don't conform to it. It conforms to me. And that's just the way I am, you know, and that's what makes me a little different than a lot of musicians. You know, it's like, I want to do it my way. I don't want to do it my way or the highway for me. Well, you know, but I love the song in its original form. If I'm like doing a cover or something, like that's great. I'll try to get as close as I can. But if it doesn't work, I'm just going to do it my way.
Well, that's what people want, man. Like that's the thing that lives on forever. That your sound, that only you can do. Like, are you doing covers on the new album, on your solo one?
No. But I think I'm supposed to be doing 2 minutes to late night thing.
Oh, cool.
Soon. I'm not even gonna say what it is because it's really fucking awesome. It's gonna blow doors if like we get it done. I was supposed to do it this weekend, and me and Jeff have been so busy, like we couldn't really hook up, but I'll do it sometime this week. And what else did I do? I don't know. I've just been doing a lot of playing.
Yes.
Like,
it's good to play. It's important.
That's the only thing I'm good at. Well, no, I'm good at other things, but like that's like the thing I'm best at. So
what other kind of creative outlets are you working on at the moment?
Just that solo thing. I'm trying to nail that and get it done. And I'm working on High on Fire stuff. And working on keeping those two sounds kind of separate. Like I know the songs that I wrote for High on Fire that go with that, and I know the songs that I wrote for this project. Which I'll have a name by the next time. By the time it comes out, I'll have a name for it.
You'd hope you'd have a name when it comes out. It'd be good.
Oh, there's been so many, like every friend of mine that I get together with, or I'm like, I need a name for the band, and it's just been a barrage of the funniest shit.
Really? What are your favorites so far? They probably won't have.
Like Matt Pike and the Dick Pics. Like, and then last night, someone was all, dude, what if you just named your band Cum? It's all CUMB. That one had me peeing my pants.
That is pretty fun.
Crying. I was all
CUMB.
It sounds like a 90s like fucking, you know, Burning Man band.
Yeah.
Like a Burning Man band, like in the 90s. Come.
You have to wear costumes. You have to like reimagine.
You have to
like
wear a condom, a body condom.
Like go down the Dave Brocky route, but go harder. Like just that guy was
the main drug of choice is ecstasy or MDMA or some shit, and you're just all
that guy's a trip. Who would that Dave Brocky? Do you ever meet him?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. Well, and I went on tour with Nick Turner's version of it though.
Oh yeah.
I met that guy in public. At some show, I went out and I was like, oh, it's Dave Brocky. It's the other guy. Wow. I got to meet them both now.
Yeah.
And I got to meet Lemmy. So aside of the chick, that's kind of all of them. And I met, what's his name? The axe player, Del Detmar.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, he's awesome, dude. That guy would take acid and run out in the woods and run away from the van, and everybody'd have to go get him.
Like a little runaway child. Yeah. Everyone is.
Yeah, well, he lived up in Canada in the middle of fucking nowhere or something, and they got him to come out of the woods. Then he tried to run back. It was fucking great.
Well, we've all got to find our place in the woods. I mean, I think like you come from a punk rock background, and there's a lot of values in that kind of world, and a lot of heavy metal doesn't necessarily deal with that, but you kind of have in your lyrics kind of talked about that kind of stuff.
Well, it goes against it used to go against the grain, and now what I see is they've convinced, I mean, and that gets politic. I want to go into it, but I just seen the side switch, you know what I mean? And I've seen anarchy again being considered just total fucking chaos, where in actual anarchist society, you don't have kings or queens. It's no gods, no masters, but you have a moral compass that keeps everybody morally fucking in line, because you have fucking ethics. That's the people I'd like to live around. That you have right from wrong in your fucking head. And if you have a disagreement, you can talk about it and not split each other's heads. But humans are humans, and we can't be like that until there's a fucking wash or something. I don't know.
There's definitely
it used to be. I think that was the whole idea when they fucking made Christianity.
Yeah.
Or made any sort of religion a religion, is to keep us in line morally, like a moral compass. But those ended up being even more corruptible and killing more people than even governments do. Who would have thought someone could kill more than a king?
It's crazy. Like, it's just I really do feel like there is a rising up though of us, like a groundswell of people who are the conscious side of it. And I've got a friend.
That's a whole thing. Yeah. I'm sorry.
No, I'm rambling. Like, I was talking to someone the other day. He's like, that's why they'd never make psychedelics legal, because that would the people would think too freely, and that would not necessarily. I'm being an advocate, but it's an interesting theory that one of the reasons why those things are not allowed is because of that. I don't know. What do you?
That's why I always keep a constant supply of shrooms. Like, I have to do shrooms like at least once a month, if not once a week. I instead of taking them like I used to as a kid, I'll microdose them. I just use them like pot. They just makes my psyche better for some weird reason. It makes me a little happier than, it's a good thing for depression, especially if you're shut in a fucking house for a year,
Yeah. Well, I think it taps into something. I think there is parts of our brain that there are other sort of realms and avenues that we can't access necessarily from the normal conscious brain.
Yeah, this is true. True.
And it's interesting to kind of go down those paths and explore it. Well, if your solo album was like a film, what film would it be?
Oh, I hadn't thought of that one.
Like an epic.
Yeah, it'd be a fucking demented one.
That'd be hijinks and.
You put me on the spot. I'd have to think hard.
Did you make it The Cave? I love that The Cave song. That's that's one of my favorites. Yeah,
there's songs on there like kind of like that are like a little more acoustic, a little more bluesy oriented. There's this one, and it sounds like you're by the train tracks around a bum fire. Awesome. And and I got it's cool, man. Just people got to hear it. Well, I think people are really gonna like it, because it's a very different side of me and my writing, and who I'm playing with. I kind of reflect who I'm jamming with at the time too. Who's ever on the track is really puts their personality into it. So it's a lot of different levels, and it's kind of roller coastery that way. It's not all like High on Fire, you know what to expect. It's just gonna like come out swinging and just hit you until it's done. This is there's a lot of different kinds of feel to it and moments, which is cool as shit. I needed that. Needed a little change from like what I normally do,
And you can tell you've got lots of colors and flavors, like just as a player and stuff. Like, you can tell that there's.
Yeah, no, I don't think I've shown off a lot of the other things that I can do. You know what I mean? Like what I do just sitting around practicing or whatever.
Yeah. What's the most exciting thing to kind of unleash, like a flavor?
Most exciting thing?
Yeah. What are you like? Bam! I never get to do this. There's banjo.
Oh.
There's Jeff playing a banjo. I mean, that's pretty.
Oh, it's a Turkish banjo. That's even crazier. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Well, I do a lot of playing on 12 string, and it's really kind of harder to play, you know, and it makes for a good warm up, so to speak, or whatever. Yeah. And I do a lot of playing on 12 string, and I'll tune it to different intervals, and it's weird sounding. Like I'll make it weird sounding and play tunes like that. I don't know. I've been messing around with some different tunings, which I never really have done all that much in the past, and like, yeah, some of those are on the album. And, yeah. So it's a lot of fun, and there's like stand-up bass now. There's well, we did a whole lot of percussion. You know what I mean? Like, well, yeah, that's where we'll have one room session. During a recording at the very end, I'll give everybody mushrooms and we'll go into the big room and start hitting break drums with axes. And we got a gong and we were all hitting the gong and we were all throwing shit around the room and jumping this Evil Knievel toy that I had. And like, we just turn it into a lot of fun. It's like a lot of fun at those
That makes
sessions.
me really happy. That's really funny. Yeah. It reminds me of Russ Russell and Napalm Death. They got to the end of the record and they're like, we're gonna go to the hardware store, and there's all this like armor. There's like a medieval reenactment place down the road from the studio. So they went and found all this armor and like shields, and then went to the hardware store and they're like bam, 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 bam. And yeah, they like it. I love hearing you guys all go down different paths, because there's a tune on that goes perfectly with Pulp Fiction, the Jackrabbit Slim scene. There's like this swing dance Napalm Death kind of song that sounds really good. But I love it when you guys go down different paths. Like heavy music's awesome, but I think everyone who makes heavy music listens to more than just heavy music.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Like I don't know anyone who makes metal that just listens to metal. That'd be weird.
No, because you got to know where the roots come from all of that. I mean, if you don't get into deep blues, deep old jazz, not jazz ain't for everyone, or the root of classical and like, you know, Bach or Beethoven, or you can hear all those roots in, you know, metal. Like, you know, I'm playing a harmonic minor. Oh, you know, this is in Lydian. This is in, you know, whatever. All that theory applies to metal on, you know what I mean? Yeah. Even like Slayer, and it's all chromatically, you know, it's like it applies, those theories apply to metal, you know what I mean? The softest music ever. It's can be the darkest shit ever, you know?
And it makes for I think it just makes people happier. I think I just feel like a lot of heavy music people are just really nice people. It's nice. It's a good thing. Yeah. Do you feel like, sorry, that's a ridiculous statement. Do you feel like there is a network of everyone off tour at the moment? Like, do you feel connected to your world?
Yeah, that's kind of why I started. I was saying I don't do social media much, but yeah, I do the Instagram thing. So it's cool to follow a lot of my friends and touring people, or people I admire over the years. You know what I mean? You always see what like Gary Holt or like Slash or like, you know, there's a bunch of people that put shit up that, you know, I follow or whatnot.
Yeah.
And then I try to put my shit up, and there's people from all over the world. I have like, I think that 30,000 something people that tune into me, and I like try to tune in back or talk to people that way. You know, it's a good way of networking. And then I fucking hate social media because I think it's the worst. I think it's destroyed the world pretty much. I think people having a platform and not having to be responsible for what their mouth says, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And then like I see where some people are like, dude, freedom of speech is good and all, but like some people shouldn't be allowed to have social media because it just stirs the shit. Yeah. Because there's a bunch of people who just get off on like, shit disturbing. Yeah. Basically.
And so just these really, and people live in these echo chambers as well, where all, because of like the way these algorithms work, all they do is show you more that reinforces your position, and they don't actually challenge you with other points of view. So people live in these like worlds where, they just think, you know, everyone's living in these weird silos where they're surrounded by people who just echo back how they see the world. And it's a weird thing.
Yeah. No, I think there's a lot of younger people who are really pissed off because they got a raw deal. You know what I mean? And I can totally understand that. But at the same time, I think they're fucking themselves over even worse by exploiting, by being a troll. You know what I mean? The people who are out there who fucking do that shit because they don't feel good about themselves are ruining it. They're ruining a good, we could have a good world. It's up to us to choose that. No one's going to come fucking save us. I'm telling you right now.
No,
there is no fucking Jesus on a spaceship that's going to fucking fix everything. We have to do it ourselves. And these people we fucking vote for and shit, they're not going to do it either. They're going to take and take and take and not give.
No.
And we need to fucking fix that whole fucking thing. And I don't know if mankind can do it. If not, you know, when technology outdoes spirituality, I just have a feeling that those predicaments, usually the outcome is not survival. The outcome is we'll destroy ourselves.
Yes.
And there's so much sci-fi you can watch coming true right now.
100%.
You know,
there's a plague. Like it's very biblical. Like,
have you ever seen what was it? Epidemic? Have you seen the movie with Lawrence Fishburne?
No.
You should watch it. They got the date right. It's March 10th. He's all, that's when the epidemic starts in the movie. Dude, it's creepy and they're all wearing masks and it's all fucking crazy and it's crazy like it is now. And I'm like, dude, that's just weird, man. It was like future predictor thing. I was like, dude, am I watching a movie from CERN right now or something? You know, the Mandela effect crap. I feel like it. Why?
It's mysterious, like, and I just like, I don't know whether there's going to be like this catalyst. I mean, this could be the catalyst event, but you know, I don't know, man. It shits me as well when people are like, oh, let's go to like these other isms or whatever. And it's just like, dude, all those 20th century ideas don't work. Like, we got 8 billion people. We've got a dying planet. We've got, you know, this crisis of a lack of compassion and connection and stuff. Like, we need a whole different approach. How would you, should you assume some sort of, you know, there has been a presidential campaign for you. What would be your first orders of business? Should you move into kind of a role?
Well,
a statesman.
I do away with corporations, you know, and not to talk politics, but I mean, these corporations that they act like they're human beings. They don't pay taxes on billions and billions of dollars like Bezos, you know, or fucking Bill Gates bought up all the farmland in America now. Like, what's he going to do with that? And now he wants to block out the sun. And, you know, there's all this crazy shit. Even Forbes magazine, like, I was like, he just bought up all the food. Now he controls all the food. And that guy's a known eugenist, even though people don't like to think he is.
Yeah.
He's fucking said it in public. And it's live on TV.
Shit. Yeah, it's science fiction.
And I'm not going to, that's not a conspiracy theory. That guy is like that.
No. Oh, dude, I don't think there's anything that's like, this is real shit. Like, you can't, it's not deniable.
Or I mean, there's like little things like that happening, like little things like Bill Gates buying up all the farmland.
Yeah.
I would get rid of those people having power, especially people who are not elected making decisions. The CDC is privately owned. The prison system here is privately owned. Everything that's privately owned by corporations, like all of America is owned by 5 corporations. And that needs to stop. And so is the 2-party system thing. That needs to stop. You need to vote for the person that is good for the job. Not if they're a donkey, if they're an ass or a fucking elephant ass. I don't give a shit. I think they're all fucked because they're all following an agenda. And if you're not on their team going, well, we have a plan to do that. No, you should be doing your job and not having a plan on how to win the next election.
Yeah.
By fucking each other over and starting fucking riots and talking shit and and storming a fucking government building and shooting people and like, what the fuck, dude?
It is wild.
It needs to stop.
Yeah.
And dude, the corporations need to stop playing their games with all of us.
Yeah.
Because it's about hurting us, like hurting cats, you know?
Yeah. And it's not a real thing. And there's so much that could be done, you know, if we went to a more like human centric model. What was it like with all the riots and stuff, like the Black Lives Matter riots through? What was it?
I don't know. I drove downtown just to check it out.
Yeah.
But and yeah, I didn't see much because of my side of town. Like, they'd go down the street and honk and whatever. And they ruined downtown Portland. I mean, that sucks, but like, um, that it didn't affect me that bad, except there was just certain places I couldn't go to, you know what I mean? Or I wouldn't want to bother driving a car there because, shit could happen. And, I started carrying a gun a little more just because I didn't know what kind of a state of affair between Proud Boys and Antifa where you'd run into the middle of something bad or something. So, I'd pack a gun. But I did that. I'm from the ghetto, dude. I slept with a gun under my pillow for fucking years because I lived in like the worst place in Oakland. It's like, it's just the way it is.
America is so wild.
Yeah,
it's okay from the outside. Your country is wild. It's just, we just live.
Yeah, it's a bunch of fucking crazy people, but I mean,
we're just we like criminals.
Yeah, well, we like to be free. I mean, we like to be free, but I don't think people like to be free anymore. Everybody wants their government to make them safe and pay them money that flies out of thin air. And what they don't realize is you're going to pay that back.
Yes.
That stimulus check, you're going to pay it back times 10 when you go to buy food.
It's not
That's how that works. It's called hyperinflation. That's what that is.
Yeah,
it's going to happen. And that's not a conspiracy. That's the truth.
Yeah.
And I took my check too, but that's hook, line, and sinker. That's how daddy government wants you to be dependent on him.
He
wants you to come to him for lunch money, not go make yourself lunch money, because he doesn't like when you're independent because he can't control you that way. And that's the problem with what's going on with politics right now.
Yeah,
what I mean? On both sides, they're fucking, everybody took the check. No one sees that. It doesn't matter what side you're on. You fucking fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker.
Well, I mean, we got a check for 6 months. So it's a whole different thing.
Your country's adopted socialist policies a little more than this country has yet. So this country's having birth pains going from one type of government to the other. And I have no control over it. I refuse to vote this time because my vote wouldn't have counted anyway. Didn't do anything. They don't fucking count that shit. They do what they're gonna do. You don't get in that fucking seat without it being paid for.
Yeah.
Never has worked that way.
It's just
as much as people say, I don't believe that mine does, but whatever.
It's fucked. It's broken. So all we can do is make art.
Yeah,
all we can do is make art.
I agree with you. That's all we should be doing. Is at least that's all I'm doing, and that's all like my wife's doing. That's all like, my friends are doing. Is like everybody's trying not to talk about politics, even though it's like it's calmed down here now that that Trump is out and Biden's kind of senile, and I laughed because he keeps his composure, but he fucking fucks up a lot. He's like, he'll go off into space and then he'll catch himself. I'm like, he's really good at fucking catching himself, dude, because he starts going a little senile there, and like I feel bad for the dude,
We just need a little grandpa for a bit.
Well, he says some funny shit though, dude.
I like it when he goes all 70s. He's like, yeah, man, like people from the 70s are in their 70s now, and he's like, yeah, man, like I kind of find it amusing.
I was born in the 70s.
Yeah, you're a child of the 70s.
So I get it.
Yeah. What was it like? I mean, Oakland, that's wild. What was it like? How did you find music? Like, and what was it like growing up in this sort of wild place? Like, you grew up around
Well, I grew up in as a kid, I grew up in Denver.
Yeah.
And that was pretty wild too. That was a rough town. That was pretty tough. And then I moved to California and I was like, whoa, dude, this is like culture shock. Like everybody's blending in. Like in Denver, it was very kind of, I think at that time in the 80s, it was much more race segregation by choice. Really? I mean, the races did it on their own. I mean, they just didn't talk very often, and it didn't mean everybody hates each other, but it was kind of a little more separation of just human beings chose to be that way. There's, this part of town is black, this part of town is white, this part of town. And I had my share of problems, but it was always the rodeo hick dudes would come and beat the shit out of me and my friends because, well, I had an Iron Maiden patch, or I like was skateboarding, and then that taught us how to fight. And then we, you know, you get into high school and you get gnarly, and then, you know, me and my friends were tough after we got the shit kicked out of us by rodeo dudes, and, you know, for half our life. And then yeah, then I moved to San Jose, was the first place after I got in some trouble. So I had juvie time, but then I moved to California with my father, and I lived in San Jose, and that had a rough east side. It was very Latino, and, you know, but I kind of grew up around a bunch of dudes that were like kind of cholo guys, you know. And
really?
That part of my life, I knew a lot of people who were East Siders. And then I moved to Oakland, and that's fucking crazy town, especially back then. It's fucking gnar. Nowadays, it's kind of gentrified a little more.
Yeah.
But it's still pretty gnar. But back then, it was like fucking danger. You know, you need to know all your neighbors.
Yeah.
And that's how I survived there. I just get to know my neighbors, you know, and we'd be cool. And you don't really see skin color like when you live in a place like that. You're just fucking neighborly. You're like, people are people. Why the fuck? There is no fucking anything here that I don't even think about that. You know, to have it brought up so much lately, it totally trips me out, because I'm like, I don't even know a white supremacist. You know what I mean? It's really weird how, I guess I don't run in those circles where I'd have to meet one.
Yeah.
But I haven't heard some of that shit since I was a kid. And it was rampant as a kid in Denver. There were fucking crazy skins, and there was crazy gangs and all sorts of shit. So the world's changed. Plus I'm old, so I ignore shit like that. I just, you know what I mean?
It's weird. Like, I just feel like everyone's just looking for a nice, easy scapegoat for discomfort and, you know, a hard life. It's much easier to kind of join forces and look to a scapegoat and find some way to explain away the problems of the world. But sadly, it's not the brown people who are causing your life to be ruined, you know?
No way. No way.
Not at all. Like, it
doesn't have to do with color. It has to do with, it has to do mentally with how much people absorb from their phones and absorb from their data. And like, I've noticed those things making people think a certain way, and including myself. I've seen it start like pushing me towards thinking a certain way, depending on what I'm watching. And then I'm like, dude, that's fucked up, because that's like CIA mind control shit. So I try to have a couple days a week where I don't fucking use my phone at all.
That's a really good thing. It's a healthy thing. Well, do you think, can music do the same thing? I feel like there's like like those like wall of sound speakers, like sleep shows and stuff. Do you think you're affecting the way people were thinking? Do you think it can have an impact on the way?
Oh, absolutely. Frequency can have an impact on the way people think.
Yeah.
It can have an impact on any number of parts to your brain and chemicals that flow through your brain. Or like when you do a drug, the drug doesn't get you high. Your brain emulating that drug gets you high.
That's
wild. You know what I mean? Yeah, so it's your brain copying what you ate, which is the weirdest fucking thing. I didn't know that, but I read this book. What is that? I'll think of it. I'm having a brain fart because I need to know the title. But yeah, it was all about that, and like plants and our relation to plants, and especially plants that get us high. Yeah. Botany of Desire. That's what it's called.
That's a cool name.
Because it explains kind of how your body works with different, you know, plants, how our relationship with plants.
It's mystical. It's super.
Yeah, it's mystical.
Yeah. That's but like, I don't know, like sleep is now like a little packaged up thing, isn't it? As an experience, like it's over, right? Like sleep is it a contained thing, and you've had an end and a chapter or will it ever come back?
Oh, for right now, it's just on hiatus. And it was really weird how we decided to take 2020 off and do other things. And then this happened. I was like, well, I'm glad we did that. Like we were prepared for it.
Well, you've got the prophetic vibes there. Yeah.
No, and we were doing the grind. I mean, we were on tour so much. I mean, we really drilled the sleep thing, and it was great because like we were doing really good concerts, and it was a lot of good experience and a lot of tough times, and we made some money to put into other things, you know, in our lives by busting our asses and really taking time to do shit right.
Yeah, people love that band.
Yeah, no, and it's an amazing band because it's for everyone and it's not politicky at all. It's just space, weed, and desert.
Yeah.
And,
well, I think those shows are like, that's some of the best vibes. That's some of the best vibes I've seen. I think those, a lot it's just good vibes. And you draw a certain kind of person to your sound, the kind of vibrate.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a good band for escapism.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like being able to step outside your head or, you know, doing a bong rip and just sticking on some headphones. That's a great band to do that too, you know?
There's like all those like myths about Dope Smoker from like way back when. Did you really use the whole budget to on weed? Did you really,
No, I had used the whole budget on weed and amps.
Yeah, you did.
Yes.
Of course you did.
Yeah. Well, and the recording.
Yes,
I mean, we had to pay for the recording. But yeah, weed and amps, every last penny me and Al could scrape up from that thing to put towards weed or amps, we did. We all left with a pillow of weed like this big from that studio, which was up on a weed farm, you know. It's like, so it's pretty great.
What did Al teach you? Like, how did Al change you as a person, like from playing?
He's a very intense man, and well, he's truly kind of hilarious, but he's a genius. But his genius kind of tortures him because he's very, you know, he's just very particular, you know what I mean? And sometimes that can make him kind of difficult to work with because he's stubborn about stuff, you know what I mean? But then if I want to get my point across, I had to learn how to kind of communicate with him to get my point across. Like, dude, just listen to what I did and how to make him listen to something without him thinking I'm shooting what he's doing down. But there was a communication thing that over the years we were really hashing out, you know what I mean? And he's good at communicating though now, after years. He wasn't good at that at first, you know? He was really kind of stubborn, and it makes this tug of war. And like, I think learning how to communicate with him and him understanding and trying to work on himself, like really, really made us work better.
That's awesome.
You know, together. So and it's a constant thing though. I mean, like, you're in a band like that, it's like a marriage. You just have to figure each other out, you know, at a certain point.
And that's a journey with everything, really, isn't it? I mean, everything happens through other people.
Yeah.
Like, no, we don't exist in a vacuum. I've been thinking about that because I spent like months alone. Like, I actually took 6 months and didn't see anyone before the pandemic, which
really
I do not recommend. Yeah, I was just making a movie and I just like cut it all off, and I kind of learned that you really humanity. You should actually exist with humanity. Like, we are designed as a pack animal. Like, once upon a time.
Being social. Yeah.
Yeah, we would die.
Some people like prefer to be alone. I like my introversion time, but I don't function well without being social.
You gotta have the balance. Yeah. What you made a couple of albums with Kurt Bailu, who's a very interesting character.
Oh, yes, he is.
Yeah. Like, I've done a bunch of podcasts with Nate from Converge, and I like that they're the perfect balance to each other. Because Nate's very, and actually I don't know Kurt that well at all.
Kurt's very, very smart.
Yes.
Kurt's very, very smart. He's a great dude. He's very gentle and very mellow.
Like,
but he's super over smart. And I think sometimes people think they're gonna get him immediately, and he comes off as a little bit weird to them. And I'm all, no, it's just because he's fucking smarter than shit, and he doesn't know how to talk to you. Because I'm like, I'm stupid. It took me a while to like learn how to fucking say something that matters to that guy.
It's communication. It's like people are on their own trip. Did those experiences affect the way you're approaching like putting together your own new thing?
He definitely did something to the High on Fire sound that no one was able to capture at that point. You know what I mean? He really worked with what we were doing at the time. And dude, he's perfect at it. I was like, I couldn't ask for anything better. And then, you know, on top of that, it was a great album. And then we won a Grammy for it, you know, and I'm like, yeah, no shit. That dude fucking knows something. You know? He's got special powers. He's like wizard powers.
That was adorable, by the way. That the Grammy, I was just like, oh man, like they won the Grammy, because the Grammys is never that. It's like that fucking, what's that Jethro Tull beat Metallica that year? You know, like the Grammys have been forever like.
Oh, and it was for that category.
Yes.
The category we won, it was for that same category, and they had a shit fit about it, and they're all, dude, Jethro Tull, you can't fucking beat Metallica. Turned into that thing, and like.
And you won a category, and you're like, oh no, I watched it. I was so stoked for you guys, man. I was just like, and you know, yeah, and it was cool. I guess, yeah. I mean, because did Des leave around that not far after that, or for a while?
Yeah. No, we kind of
it was kind of beautiful,
separated before that, but then we went to the Grammys, met up together, you know, and did the thing, and like, you know, and there's healing going on and stuff working out and stuff, and you know, we've been touring so long, we're all getting older, and he has a family, and now we couldn't have toured anyway, you know, and so we're just figuring out ways of doing this and getting paid for our old stuff, you know, so we have like some sort of income so we can make more art or do whatever. And I don't know. There's nothing that's all that sore or anything. We're working everything out, you know. It's just it at a certain point sometimes, you know, and you got to just take steps to move forward.
And it's a living, breathing animal, I guess, like riding a dragon. Like a band is a dragon, you know.
Like Crimson Eye and all of it.
Exactly. Would you ever do a rock opera?
That's what my solo album is. It's a rock opera.
You gotta get Billy.
It kind of is like that. It's fucking weird, dude.
You gotta get Billy Gibbons.
No, it's not quite that. It's not that themey, but like, I've tried to do rock operas before that were just Triumph Fire record albums. Divermus Mysterious is kind of one. It's all about the same storyline. So if you do the same storyline, I wanted to shoot a movie for that one, or Luminiferous is like that. You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's one of my favorite albums of all time, I think. That one, Luminiferous. It's good. Yeah.
It's a crazy album. That thing was
It's
I was out of my fucking mind then.
Really?
I was losing it bad. I was going through, I always go through a horrible breakup when I'm like writing some crazy album like that or something. So it takes my mind off like what's really going on. You know what I'm saying? So I get up writing.
That's a very good way to channel these things, man. It's a very, you should get Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top in there. Just like a little, just a little
maybe on the next one, because I plan on keeping this solo thing going once it.
That's awesome.
Like, and I have people picked out for the next album who I'm gonna have play on them. Yeah, because I just have these little guest star things. Or I'll play every instrument aside of the drums, you know, or, you know, I have my wife playing like keyboards or like pipe organ or Hammond organ, you know, with the Leslie that spins and then she's on a D-beat fucking song screaming, you know, and then like and then my longtime roadie Chief, he did sound for High on Fire and was my guitar tech forever, and like I let him play a bunch of bass on it because I always felt bad, like he's such a great player, but he's like handing me guitars. I'm like, dude, you need like, so I let him do a bunch of songs on this, and they turned out fucking stellar because he's fucking wicked.
That's so rad.
No, I just try to do some things for my friends I never really get to play with, you know.
You write, what's the kind of lyrical stories? Is there a theme?
No, not so much. You'll have to read them because I'm not done with all of it yet. I keep changing lyrics here and there. But
that's good. You're a good lyricist, man. It's, you know.
Thank you. Well, I take my time on them, but I end up it drives people crazy because I'll record the song, then I'll go back and I'll be, oh, dude, I got to change 2 lines. It doesn't make sense. The story has to make sense, or I fucking go crazy.
Well, because you do actual stories. You do actual stories, which is really, you know, What have been your favorite album that you've written of lyrics that you're most proud of?
God. I don't know. They're all fucking good. They all are just a takeoff of my. I'm actually putting out a book of all my lyrics.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's all. I have a bunch of. It's going to be a surprise. I have a bunch of killer artists working on. I'm basically paying all the artists my advance. I'm not taking shit until like the book comes out and I sell some. That's, you know. But it's
is your wife doing some of the art?
Yeah, she's doing the layout. She's doing the layout.
She's an amazing artist, man. I've seen her on.
Oh, she's fucking out of control good.
Like off the chain. It's like, oh, I'm just like, it was cool because I remember you saying you were heartbroken 5 years ago when we were talking, and that they were from different worlds. And it's like you look at you two, and you're clearly from the same world.
Yeah, no, we have a lot in common.
Yeah,
yeah, we have so much in common. Sometimes I think it drives both of us nuts.
I feel that way in my relationship. I'm yeah. When you cut from the same cloth, you're also
it's kind of like being or it's like, you know, how you'll be hard on yourself, then you're hard on your wife, or your wife's hard on you.
But so wait, so you're doing it like all your lyrics through space and time?
What?
All your lyrics through space and time? Like all of them? Like all of them from the beginning?
Yeah, all the way up until recently. It's going to go up to Electric Messiah. Awesome. And then it will cut off there, and then the lyrics I've been working on now, and they still have yet to come out on a song, so there's no reason to publish them before the song's out.
You have a name for
it? Head on a Pike.
That's awesome. Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and and the artwork will reflect what that is.
I'm glad you're being mad prolific.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I got to do something. I mean, shit. I don't know how long I'm gonna be around, you know, but I want to do everything I can.
Yeah.
While I'm alive, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, I could be around for 100 more years. I'm not saying I'm gonna go and die soon or anything. I'm just like, but you never know. And the older I get, the more I think about mortality like that.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I have a granddaughter now.
Oh,
not only do I have a daughter, I have a granddaughter.
So Lexi, wasn't your daughter Lexi?
Yeah. Lexi has a daughter, named London.
That's is that
wild? It's fucking crazy.
That's crazy.
And I haven't been able to go down there and meet her yet because of this COVID shit. And I was going to take a little trip and do a drive instead of fly, because I refuse to go to an airport or a hospital. That's just stupid.
Yeah.
That's dumb. That's where it all comes from. So I was like, I'll just drive down there, you know? And then they shut everything down again. And I'm like, I don't want to drive down there and get caught in a place where like I can't even, you know what I mean? Like I can't stay where she's staying. There's not enough room, you know what I mean? So
it's so weird, but I'll
get to it eventually.
People. That's nuts. You made your own people.
Yeah.
No, got it done.
Yes. There are more pikes in the world.
That's important. Your pike. Head on a pike. What are you reading? Are you reading much? What are you reading at the moment?
I've been having problems with my eyesight.
Yeah.
So I'll start skimming. What was there's a few things. What did I just get? I was reading like a week and a half ago. Like I was trying to read, and I just can't get far without giving myself a headache.
Yeah.
Or, like I have reading glasses and stuff. So
do I.
I used to read constantly. I used to always be reading a book at some point in the day or not. And like, just with my eyesight, and it's not reversible. It's because I'm old. They're like, we can't fix that, dude. You're old. And I'm like, fucking son of a bitch.
You still got ears. Those are important. Well,
yeah.
How's your hearing?
Audiobooks are nice.
Have you fucked up your hearing yet?
No. You know what? I got a hearing test. It was about 3 years ago, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you have like normal hearing." I'm all, "That's fucking absolutely impossible." And they're all, "No, you haven't lost any hearing that's any different than a 46-year-old man. You know, you're fine." I was like, "That's insanity," because all I did was listen to Lemmy, and I just don't wax my ears. I'm serious.
Maybe
that's what he told me. Don't wax your ears. And I was all, okay, I stopped waxing my ears and I don't have hearing problems. Do you think that guy knows something?
I think, yeah. Let's be real. That motherfucker like endured, you know?
Oh, dude, like, he played until his fucking arm wouldn't lift. I saw it was sad, but it was fucking awesome to see a guy go and like be all, I just can't do it, dude. Finally, like it's to the point where I can't hold the bass, you know?
Yeah.
That's fucking a warrior to the fucking end.
Right
that is so ardent, so righteous.
And just
that's fucking visionary.
Man. Yeah.
That is fucking relentless.
And he's a
you
sweet
know.
man, you know.
Oh, he's a fucking awesome dude.
Yeah,
Very smart.
I interviewed him 5 interviews into doing interviews, and I was terrified. And he was so fucking cool. I'm like, how are you guys going? He's like, oh, I'm fine. I'm lovely. I'm doing it. And then he's like, we're singing just for you, covered in sequins. And I basically just fell through the floor. It was just,
yeah. No, I got to
fucking
interview him
gave me
too.
time, man. Yeah.
I got to interview him too, and he's just fucking sweet as pie.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what questions. I hadn't really ever interviewed anybody before. So I just went to the bar at the time and I asked all my friends who were Motorhead fans what they'd ask him. And I just was like, question 1, wrote that down, question 2. And then I thought of a couple. I was like, that was easy. And he's like, those are good questions, mate. And they all came from the bar I drink at.
That was a good Lemmy.
That
was a good Lemmy voice. That was solid. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
are you going to go through like a warrior? Right.
Pardon me, I got a little cough going on. It's not COVID. I swear to God. I've had a fucking lung thing since the fucking fires.
Shit.
Those fires were so bad. My wife went out of town without me, and I stayed here because I had shit to do. And my lungs get fucked up like a lot easier than they used to ever since those fires.
Yeah.
And my cars all broke down at the same time too. Right after those fires, my Jeep blew up, and then I had to like rebuild my whole fucking El Camino. Like everything was fucked on all of it.
I forgot you guys had biblical fires too. A year later, we had biblical fires, and then there was plague.
I don't think
we were like,
biblical.
this is the worst thing that could happen. And then it was like, oh no, it really isn't.
No,
that's nothing. No. That's nothing.
Yeah, no, that's really when you start feeling like the world's ending.
Yeah,
you're like sitting there, and it's like fire in your house. You can't escape it. And there's COVID shut down, and it's like the world is gonna it's ending right now. It feels like it. Feels like there's nothing left. You know, I'm sitting here staring at the fucking most miserable hell-looking sky, and I can't breathe. You know,
it's not ideal.
That's so weird. What did George Floyd say? You know, I can't breathe, and then those fires happen, and then people are wearing face masks. And I'm like, was that just a fucking crazy symbolic fucking saying? That's fucking insane. Yeah, and I'm not saying that's connected. I just thought that was a very weird
I hadn't thought about that.
That was a very weird coincidence, let's say. You know,
that's symbolism.
This whole year has been about I can't breathe.
Yeah. It's like that's some mystical symbolism that I hadn't really considered. Like, what is the world? What is the world? I don't know. What are you I won't keep you forever. What are you listening to?
Well, I try not to influence myself too much.
Yeah.
When I'm recording stuff. So I've just been listening to the tracks that I've been doing with people a lot.
Oh, great.
You know what I mean? And I try not to go, you know, I'll drive around and listen to something sometimes, but not, you know, like I think I had a Bon Scott night where I cleaned up my upstairs and listened to all the Bon Scott shit.
Yeah.
Just because I hadn't listened to it in a while. And you're Australian.
It's important.
Like,
it's a part
I feel like fucking listening to Bon Scott because I need some lyric, I need some lyric timing ideas. He was awesome at timing.
Yeah.
You know?
And the subtlety of the disgustingness, like just the way he could slip things into stuff in a creative
way.
Like,
the way he could slip his dick into your girlfriend.
Yeah, just disgusting. Like he's a filthy animal, but he was very poetic about it. You know, very a traditional Australian thing. It's gonna be really good when we can have you people back here.
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna be a while till we
let America wait.
In. Like
I can't wait.
Will you guys come back when as soon as you can?
Probably I'd be back there right now if I could.
Yeah.
I'm bummed about this, man. I'm not used to not traveling most of my life, but it really has made me take a time out of really think about who I am and what I'm doing, and you know, work on some things that, you know, I really always would run away from and go on tour, you know. So
it's there's linings, there's silver linings in this weird
no, it's gonna be okay, man. It's just that we all got to figure out how to live together better, man. That's all. People need to fucking start working with each other and not against each other, you know, and try to see eye to eye and walk in another man's shoes. And not enough people, these phones make people so self-centered and it really truly drives people to be narcissistic, or it's self-important and not listen to anybody else,
Yeah.
and it's like, no, we need to stop that shit and start talking with each other in a calm voice and in a manner where intelligence wins the game,
Yeah.
and just because two people don't see eye to eye doesn't mean those two people aren't right.
Yeah.
It's just a different belief. And it's like, can you believe what I believe? Because I don't want a bunch of boards. We wouldn't have art if we have to all believe the same thing. We wouldn't have anything good. We wouldn't have any culture,
Which is and it's weird, like the way that culture has been treated, especially by governments, in terms of like saving the industries. And it happened here really hard. They just kind of left the music industry out to dry. But it's like, the world would not have survived the last 12 months without the arts. Like the world would not have survived the last 12 months without art.
Well, they try to do away with the arts that they could, but because they want everybody sad. They want everybody in their house feeling helpless. And you go, please give me my hand out.
Yeah.
I need it. And they're all, here you go. Here you go. Now you're my fucking slave.
Yeah.
Bitch.
Fuck that. Yeah. And it's just, can you believe in my hopeful goal that after this there will be a renaissance of live music, a roaring 20s, if you will, a golden age? I feel like those first shows when people can be people and like that's going to be pretty magical. Like
people, if they ever let it happen again, it's going to be a blowout. It's going to be the best fucking time for everybody in the world.
It really will. Like it's going to be insane. Like the whole family.
Yeah. That would be fucking unreal. That would be amazing. And I fucking truly hope for it,
Yeah.
Really hope for it because I want to entertain again, before my legs and arms atrophy.
Yeah, you got to bring some rock opera things. Like I think you should start being ensconced in velvet.
Well,
like you
got I got this solo thing coming out. People are gonna like it.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Hopefully, I'll be able to play it out live one day.
Yeah.
And, same thing with High on Fire. I'm cooking up some High on Fire, Jeff, and with Maggio, and that's going to be unreal.
Yeah.
That's going to take a little time, though. That comes out a little. I'm staggering my releases, so.
That makes sense. So when is your solo thing coming out this year? I suppose.
Yeah.
The beginning of fucking.
Yeah, it should be by the summer. I'm trying to jam on it, but I don't want to rush anything as far as like.
Yeah.
I don't like putting out rushed shit. I have a theory, but I do have a deadline now.
Yeah.
I didn't have a deadline for a while, and I got a lot of it done with my own money, or just here and there on budget, just as cheap as I could. But
you got a label,
and now I got E1 kind of behind me, so they're good. They're trying to. Well, I've been waiting for them to fund me. I've been paying everybody, and I'm like, do you think you reimburse me a little bit because I'm not exactly on tour right now. I don't have a whole lot of income coming in, but. But I'm about to go do my little Patreon guitar arts workshop thing. So
sick, dude. Well, I'll put the link to your Patreon and stuff on this, and we'll put it out.
Thank you. It's Matt Pike 1972, I think.
Yeah. I've just started one, but I haven't quite worked it. I've got to work out what I do. It's kind of hard at first to figure out. To figure out what you're gonna do, but like, I bought my wife this crazy. Well, we bought her this crazy camera for like her birthday, and you can literally film a movie with it and do everything. And then we'll take like different angles, like an iPad over here, a phone over here. That I got one of those little microphones, like that you use on the talk show, that hook right here. Yeah.
And and then we just use an interface, and you get the guitar sounds and blah blah blah. So
you're getting cinematic. Mad cinematic.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot to it. You got to set up for a while, So I got to go do that. But it was nice talking to you again.
Yeah, man, it's been forever.
Very nice to see you.
Yeah, it'll be good to see you on the stage in real life. However long.
I'm hoping that too. I'm hoping that too.
This is an experience of the void.